Good evening and welcome to our special report on a dramatic escalation in the Middle East. The United States has launched airstrikes on three of Iran's key nuclear facilities, Fordow, Natanz and Isfahan, marking its entry into the conflict sparked by Israel 2 weeks ago. President Donald Trump announced the operation, dubbed Operation Midnight Hammer, on Saturday night, calling it a spectacular success aimed at halting Iran's nuclear ambitions. The strikes began at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, with 7 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers dropping 14 GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrators, or bunker buster bombs on Fordow and Natanz. These 30,000-pound munitions targeted Iran's primary uranium enrichment plants. A U.S. submarine also fired 30 Tomahawk missiles at the Isfahan Nuclear Research Center. Satellite imagery from Maxar Technology showed a 5.5-meter crater at Natanz and significant damage at Isfahan. In a Truth Social post at 8 p.m., Trump declared, "A full payload of bombs was dropped on Fordow. All planes are now safe." Speaking from the White House with Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Trump warned Iran of further attacks unless it seeks peace. "There will be peace or tragedy for Iran far greater than we've seen," he said, calling Iran the world's top sponsor of terror. The Pentagon confirmed the operation's scale, with General Dan Kane describing it as the largest B-2 mission since 2001. The bombers flew 18 hours from Missouri, refueled mid-flight, and were escorted by fighter jets. Iranian officials admitted the strikes occurred but claimed the facilities were evacuated, reporting limited damage and no radiation leaks. The IAEA noted clear impact at Fordow, with damage assessments ongoing. The strikes ignited fierce debate in Washington. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senators Lindsey Graham, Roger Wicker, and John Fetterman praised Trump's action. Johnson called it America First policy, while Fetterman said, "Iran cannot have nuclear capabilities." Critics, including Representatives Thomas Massie and Jim Himes and Senator Bernie Sanders, called the strikes unconstitutional, citing no congressional approval. Massie posted on X, "This is not constitutional." Fears of Iranian retaliation are mounting. With 40,000 U.S. troops across bases in Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and beyond, experts warn Iran could target sites like Al-Assad Air Base with ballistic missiles in minutes. Retired Colonel Seth Crumrich predicted such a response, noting Iran's ability to strike in under 15 minutes. Iranian state media aired a broadcast stating, "Trump started it and we will end it," showing U.S. bases within missile range echoing Iran's 2020 attack on Al-Assad. The strikes came just 48 hours after Trump suggested he'd decide on action within 2 weeks, hinting at diplomacy. Iran had agreed to resume U.S. talks after European and Middle Eastern diplomatic meetings. However, B-2 bombers deployed to Guam on Saturday signaled a military shift. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the U.S. for its bold decision to counter Iran's nuclear threat. The strike's impact on Iran's nuclear program is unclear. Fordow, buried 300 feet under a mountain, and Natanz, with underground enrichment halls, are heavily fortified. Isfahan stores near-bomb-grade uranium. Israeli officials estimate a 2 to 3 year setback for Iran's program, though U.S. intelligence suggests over a year is needed to weaponize uranium. The IAEA is assessing damage which may take days. Internationally, Iran condemned the strikes as a violation of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, vowing to continue its program. Russia and China are expected to criticize the U.S., while Qatar and Saudi Arabia raised escalation concerns with IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, reportedly in hiding, warned of irreparable damage to U.S. interests. The U.S. strikes have pushed the region toward a potential wider conflict, with Tehran's next move uncertain. Stay tuned for updates.